Have you ever been to Australia? In this country, you can find the world's largest crocodile in an ordinary puddle. Countless bats spread deadly diseases. Earthworms in this country reach colossal sizes, and there are so many flies that they're almost constantly landing on people. Every day, you run the risk of finding a poisonous snake in your wash basin that got there through a pipeline. But the main Australian nightmare is spiders. People with arachnophobia will find this country a living hell. After all, only here can you see a similar picture when you want to go to the toilet or take a bath. But don't worry, although such situations do occur, deadly animals are extremely rare in cities. Only a few people die from the same types of spider bites each year. Every hospital has an antidote for their poison. Over the past 13 years, 41,000 cases of people being bitten by poisonous animals and insects have been recorded. Only 64 people have died. It's much more likely to die from an accidentally falling brick than from a spider bite. Now imagine that luck wasn't on your side and you still came across the most venomous spider. And even worse, you swallowed it. Would you be able to survive? If you accidentally swallow a spider, for example, while dreaming, nothing bad will happen to you. Spider venom is dangerous if it gets directly into the bloodstream. Its molecule is very long and poorly absorbed by the body. The acid inside the stomach deactivates most of the proteins in the poison, after which it becomes inert, harmless, and easily excreted. There's a myth that every year a person, on average, swallows 6 spiders, but there are no confirmed facts about this. In any case, try not to swallow spiders, especially if you have stomach problems and don't want to spend the whole night in the bathroom. The real danger comes when a spider bites you. The consequences of a bite can be very unpleasant. Although Australia is famous for exotic animals, it remains the safest country for tourism, unlike, for example, India, Africa, and South America. The world's most venomous spider lives in Brazil. Its name is the Brazilian wandering spider. You would most likely die from its bite within 20 to 30 minutes. Do you think these spiders live somewhere in the rainforest? It's not so. The wandering spider likes to visit people and settle in old attics. Within 20 minutes, the venom of the wandering spider causes symptoms of intoxication, paralysis of the respiratory muscles, and severe pain in the body. If you are bitten by this individual, you feel something like this. Your head feels like a balloon. Your chest constricts, preventing you from breathing. Your blood pressure skyrockets. You feel your heart pounding. The feeling of near death becomes more apparent than ever before. A wandering spider usually doesn't attack first, but only defends itself when startled. In general, it doesn't like human flesh that much, but it likes bananas, for which it received a second name, banana spider. So if you decide to buy a crate of bananas somewhere in South America, be careful. If you're already scared enough of the banana spider's lethality, you can breathe a sigh of relief. Almost every hospital has an antidote. So if you're bitten, quickly wash the wound with soap, apply cold compression, and call an ambulance. Try to describe the appearance of the spider to the doctors over the phone so that you can get the right antidote as quickly as possible. Lie down on the sofa, place the bite point below the level of the heart, and try not to move. The sooner the doctors arrive, the less likely it will be fatal. The venom of a wandering spider can be useful. For example, it's used to treat impotence. But this doesn't mean, dear men, that you should specifically look for this spider and let it bite you if you don't want to die prematurely. No matter how big and venomous the spider is, most often a person shouldn't panic and worry. After all, there's an antidote to the poison of the deadliest specimens. But there are species, the bites of which nothing can save you from. Look at these spiders and tell us which one you think is the most terrible and deadly. A tarantula, Goliath bird eater, orb weaver, or a small six-eyed sand spider? The correct answer is the sand spider. This baby will kill you in half an hour, and there's no antidote to its bite. The size in this case doesn't matter. A big spider doesn't mean a dangerous spider. For example, tarantula venom doesn't pose any danger to humans. A Goliath bird eater can cause convulsions and fever, but it never causes death. A blister will appear at the site of the orb weaver bite, which disappears within a day. But an encounter with the small six-eyed spider causes necrosis of the tissues around the bite, destroys blood vessels, and almost guarantees death. A creature with a body of less than an inch and legs up to 2 inches can kill you in just a couple of hours, and you can't do anything. Fortunately, this species lives only in African and South American deserts. People come across it so rarely that there are no confirmed mortality statistics. In any case, walking through the Sahara, you shouldn't play with this creature if you want to return from the trip alive. There's an even smaller spider whose bite causes extensive necrosis, rotting, and destruction of the skin. Its length is only half an inch, and its name is Lacacellis Tenochtitlan, in honor of the ancient capital of the Aztecs, on the territory of which it was first found. The spider lives only in Mexico and often gets into people's homes. Although its bite isn't fatal, you may well lose an entire limb if you don't consult a doctor in time. And here's another spider that can kill you even if the doctors are around: the famous black widow. A whole genus of spiders is called widows because the female eats the male after mating. In medicine, there's an antidote to the poison of the black widow, but there are cases when even medical help won't save you from death. In rare cases, black widow venom provokes a syndrome called latrodectism. While the pain after the bite can go away in half an hour, the first symptoms of latrodectism may appear 6 hours later when you least expect them. It all starts with a burning pain in the place where you were bitten. As time passes, the pain moves to the nearest muscles and the rest of the body. The pain is so severe that it can be confused with a myocardial infarction or heart attack, and a terrible grimace of fear appears on the victim's face, the so-called latrodectic face. Symptoms can last up to several days. Science is aware of only 3 cases of death from this syndrome. In the year 2017, Australian scientists concluded there was no effective way on Earth to relieve the symptoms of a black widow bite. Although the death statistics are extremely low, try not to run into this spider. Poison isn't the most terrible weapon of the arthropods. All spiders on Earth are carnivores and feed on flesh. Could several hundred spiders literally eat a person, leaving only the bones behind? Scientists Martin Niffler and Klaus Birkhofer in the journal Science of Nature published data showing that the spiders on our planet could eat all of the people in a year and still not be full. It's estimated that spiders eat from 400 to 800 million tons of food. At the same time, the weight of all the people on Earth is approximately 432 million tons, so spiders could eat all of us in a year without too much trouble. But to do this, they'd have to change their diet and learn to attack in packs. If we consider that in the world, on average, there are 12 spiders per square foot, such a plot is quite possible. But don't forget that most spiders live in tropical and subtropical forests. The dangerous specimens are rarely found in cities. As it turns out, in practice, spiders aren't so dangerous. Why then do so many people suffer from arachnophobia? Scientists from Columbia University believe that the fear of spiders has been sewn into human DNA since the time of our distant ancestors. This is due to the fact that prehistoric people simply couldn't fight the bites of venomous arthropods due to lack of medicine and often disturbed them in search of food. Even if the spider bite wasn't fatal, it could have incapacitated a person for several days. And this isn't the same as taking time off work like we do today. Then the world was full of dangers, and a bitten person could easily have had to say goodbye to life while in a paralyzed state. But today, spiders don't pose much of a threat to humanity. Rather, they even help, because the venom of many individuals is actively used in medicine to treat a wide variety of diseases. And spiders eat harmful insects. In one cave in Spain, a drawing was found that is more than 10,000 years old. It shows a spider as a pet, saving a person from the dominance of flies. So, don't be afraid of spiders. Just treat them well and they'll never attack you first. Try to live in harmony with nature. And as always, thank you for watching.